really hard to measure what race on this campus means if it doesn't affect you personally. I think the experiences of people of color are very specific, and on this campus it's just not a sense of inclusion. There are a lot of situations and instances that have occurred over the past couple of months, over the past academic school year, where students of color have felt victimized, where they feel like they haven't been included as part of the community. And I think as a school, if we strive to fulfill live out the LaSallian mission of inclusive community and diversity and all of these great things, we really have to strive to make sure that everyone, regardless of race, gender, identity, feels included. And if that's not happening, then we're doing something wrong.
It's difficult with some of the students here. Some of the quotes within some of the articles we published kind of show that there's not necessarily the representation within the faculty ranks. I think we have a pretty diverse campus, which is really awesome, but unfortunately we don't necessarily have the same faculty diversity, or we're struggling with that. And that's kind of why some of the things happened last year with some of the walkouts and some of the discussion.
There definitely has to be changes on the college's side in implementing policies that are going to include all students, make sure that all students are a part of the community. Simple things such as mandating diversity workshops for all professors are a way so that all students in the classroom can have a safe space to learn. So just small changes, but in a way that works around everyone and helps make sure that everyone on this campus feels safe.
Well, it should be changed through administration. I mean, technically there are a voice in a lot of senses. I mean, students have a voice as well, but the administration have the power to change things. They've decided to hire a CDO, a Chief Diversity Officer, in Tomas Gomez Arias last year. He is doing what he can. Honestly, you know, that sometimes it's very bureaucratic, and sometimes you don't necessarily know what's going on. But they're making steps to do things, but they're making positions more, and I think action is important. And we saw some action this year with the food pantry being open. Some of the things that were, some of the demands that were listed with the End the Silence movement have been at least looked at and at least discussed at a certain level, and I think that's good. But I think I said before, like, discussion needs to stop and action needs to start.
I think that this is a prime example of grassroots organizing on behalf of the students, standing up for something they believe in, something that they see is wrong, and injustice happening on this campus. And I think change happens through power, through desire, through everyone working together to make sure that what they want to see on this campus is happening. We all love this campus, we all love coming to St. Mary's, we're all proud to go here, but we want to make sure that for the future generations, for the future students that come onto this campus, this is a great experience.
I think it was really powerful, but to be honest, I was a little skeptical at first, just given the time that it took. I mean, it was a full day, basically, and covering it for the Collegian. I was there for the morning hours, and it was really powerful. There was a lot of good personal anecdotes, basically, of unfortunate events that happened on campus. And you know, that's something that happens, and it's really important that people hear those things, and it's important that people don't belittle those events and belittle those people or things that happen to, you know, brothers and sisters technically on campus, or friends and everyone else on campus.
I'm a rain on this bitter love. Tell the sweet I'm nude. I'm telling these tears go and fall away, fall away.
One challenge is the salary. There is competition for quality faculty of color, and I think the culture, the reputation that St. Mary's has is another. I think the fewer faculty of color that you have, the harder it is to get faculty of color, and the more you have, the harder it is to get faculty of color. So that's a second challenge. I think schools that attract a lot of minorities have a curriculum that accommodates the interest, the academic interest of faculty.
So part of the difficulty is changing the whole faculty body takes time. Assisting with faculty searchers to make sure that we reach to where the diverse faculty are, encouraging them to apply to an institution like St. Mary's, and then making sure that along the whole recruitment process, there are no biases that work against them, and therefore limit our ability to take them to the finals. Sometimes people talk about the scarcity of talent from underrepresented groups in higher education, but there is talent out there. It's a matter of really attracting them. That's really the big thing.
And I think with matters of race, there's a poverty that's also connected to the numbers. There are few, I think, bona fide faculty who dedicate themselves to race at the highest level.
Unfortunately, that's an issue that racial tension, that addressing that is not something that happens overnight. We can address it, but we can expect to have those tensions going forward. I don't think they are going to unfortunately, I don't think they are going to disappear. That doesn't mean we don't have to address them and work on them along many fronts.
When students request, when they ask, I think their voices are heard more clearly than when faculty, for example, ask and request and demand. And I ask that question when we're employees. Students are not; they are customers. So the customer has a standing that employees do not necessarily have.
It's a reflection of very deep experience on the part of some students. Their ability to make themselves heard, I think it's something useful and something that we have to listen to, and we are trying to listen to their concern, and we are working on them.
This is my fight.